Hey everyone, it's Sue. I'm going to share with you a project that I made. It was actually for a challenge over on the Will Craft for Supplies Facebook page. They did not require a video, but I wanted to go ahead and do this video just because I loved it so much. It's an art journal page, yet I want to say has a lot of mixed media. So I could be either way. I get a lot of my inspiration from Crystal, who is 311 Vandal here on YouTube, as well as Jen, who is Mixed Media Jen with two N's here on YouTube. And in fact, Jen has a Facebook page called Mixed Media Jen as well. So if you want to check them out and see all the beautiful stuff that they do. So anyways, let me just share what I did. I'm just so excited. I love it. So it's in a art journal. It's actually, I purchased this at Michael's, and this is what I purchased. It's a mixed media journal. I think it was only like $14 or so, $15. And so what I first did with the page was I took a bunch of scrap papers, my pattern paper from scrapbooking, and I tore it all up, and you can see the different shapes here. There's all different shapes and patterns there. So I adhered it down using my Mod Podge. And once I got that on, I started to use my Heidi Swapp Color Shine sprays and spraying it over the paper. And this spray is great because you can still see what's behind it. And I put a good amount on it too. And I also used Mr. Huey's as well. So those are the three sprays that I used on it. Then I went ahead and did some stamping. So this happens to be like my favorite stamp at the moment. It's a Heidi Swapp stamp. And what I do is, I just decide on here what area of this stamp I want to use for the particular project that I'm doing. So I just turn it over, and this happens to be what I stamped on this particular project. And I just take my close to my heart ink pads. I have the little minis, and I just take it and I just put it on the piece of the stamp that I want to use, and I just go ahead and I just gently place it and press down. So I use this stamp. Let's see what else. Whoops, uh-oh, that fell. And then I went and I took some Punchinella and this other, it's not really Punchinella. Well, this piece is. So I used this piece of Punchinella. And also this, I'm not quite sure what to call this, but I also use this. And what you do is, so you put it down on your project, and what I did again was I took my little ink pads, and you can do this with a dauber or however else you want to, and you just hold it down and you just dab. So then when you lift it up, you have a design underneath. And this is like all about layering, tons of layers. The more you do, it's almost like the better it looks, right? So that is my Punchinella, and I keep it all in here. I have lots of different sizes and all kinds of fun stuff in here that I use for my mixed media projects. And so I did that. So now again, I'm building and building and building. So then I took, let's see, what did I take? I took, what did I do with it? Let's see, I took these. Well, I took this one. Where's my other color? Oh, I lost it. How the heck can you lose it? I don't know. That's funny. But anyways, I must have put it up. It's right in front of me. Okay, so sorry about that. So I used these two Distress paints from Tim Holtz. One is Brushed Pewter and Antique Linen. And what I do is I take like a little bowl or whatever you're going to put it on, and you just take the top off. I dab it a few times in there so the paint comes onto the bowl, and then I take the top from the paint, right? So I take the top off of here, I dab it in there, and I put it on the project. So you can see I have the silver and the antique linen right here. And so that's throughout the project as well. You can see it all over here. Okay, so that's another step that I did. Then what I did was I bought this Liquitex, okay? I bought this particular ceramic stucco just because it was less expensive than the other stuff that everybody uses from Liquitex. So I purchased this, and I happen to love it. It works really well. So I took some of that in one of my little bowls. I sprayed some of the teal Heidi Swapp in it and mixed it up. And I used this stencil right here, this flower, and I stenciled right here. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's hard, it's raised, so it's dimensional. Then what I did was, so it's already that teal color, but I went and I actually took my Stampin' Up, one of the color water pencils from Stampin' Up, and I outlined around all of the, what is that called? Isn't that funny? I will think of it. Petals. Around all of the petals, so you can see I have like a little bit darker teal around. I took one of my blenders and a little bit of water and just blended it around. Then I took that same Stampin' Up pencil, and with this being wet, I would just touch the end of this, and so it would create almost like a paint on here. And then I went and I highlighted certain areas of the flower to give it some dimension. And then what I did was I took some of this, the Heidi Swapp Color Shine, the tinsel, and just with my finger, like I put some in one of my little bowls, and I took some on my finger, and I don't know if you can tell, but again, just to make it pop just a little bit more, I went around on certain areas of the flower just to give it a little bit more color and a little bit more dimension. So I love how that turned out. So I wanted it to be basically monochromatic, although it's not 100%, but it, you know, it started with a lot of teal paper. So then I wanted to do a pop of pink. So I took this stencil that I have, and I used this distress paint called Picked Raspberry, and I went ahead and I did the stencil up there. Then I took these two Copic markers, which I have like 4 Copic markers. I am not a colorer. I don't profess to be. I just happen to have these, and they worked out great for this particular project. So after it dried, and I used my Stampin' Up heating tool a lot on this project, and I just outlined with the darker pink, and then I went back and just kind of blended a little bit with the lighter pink. And that's how I did the butterflies. Then I wanted a little bit more dimension on a few of these butterflies. So these are actually close to my heart paper butterflies that I just took what did I put on here? Oh, I took a little bit of the Mr. Huey's and some of the Distress paint, and I colored. So these were white, all three of these. And then I put a bigger one over here, and I adhered them on here with glossy accents. So that's my art journal mixed media project that I just completed this morning, and I'm just going to kind of show you some close-ups. You can see, oh, and then at the very, very, very end, I took a little bit of this Mr. Huey's and just splattered it. So you'll see like these little darker spots, that's the splatter. But if you can look, you can see the pattern paper underneath. You can see the little circles. And in person, I can see where some of the stamp images are, as well as the Punchinella, which you can see some of the Punchinella right there. And like over here, you can see those little circles, that's smaller Punchinella. You can see some of the pattern paper from underneath. And then, of course, there is the flower. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope that you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun making this. I made it over a few days. I would do a little bit and then come back and do a little bit more, and it actually took a long time for all of the spray to dry. It was sticky for a while. So I just really had a blast, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.